Welcome to another episode of the 2 for 1 podcast. I'm your host, Dion, and alongside me, joining me live, well, actually not joining me live, unfortunately. His internet might have pooped out on us, but I'm going to introduce him the same way anyway. His Raptors have clinched their best record since 2022. The birthday boy himself. Hopefully he can join us mid-episode. We'll see what happens. But my main man, Mitchell Sider, he's part of the Unction now. Hope he's doing well. But also, actually joining me live from the city currently celebrating Taco Week, whatever that might mean. It is Mr. Josiah Cook. Josie, how are you, sir?
Good afternoon, Hoop Talkers.
There it is.
Wanted to get a quick one in there. Doing good, brother. Haven't got a taco this week, but hoping to get a couple before the week is over. Shout out Barrio Tacos, if anyone's familiar with them. But
I thought you were trying to say burrito tacos.
Yeah,
I was fully on board with.
Two different things. That's the type of taco meat. Right. And this is more of a restaurant. So
speaking of which,
gotcha. Okay. Well, I was going to ask you, what is your favorite kind of taco? What's your go-to?
Man, I like chicken, but what goes on that can be so different. You can from cheese, salsa. There's so many different ways. I like a corn salsa. So I love a chicken taco.
All right, I would have went burrito myself, but
I was going to say a good burrito taco dipped back in its own juices. Oh my god! I went somewhere with my friend before we moved to Indiana for a job, and I had the best burrito tacos of my life, and I just sat there in complete and utter disbelief that this was real life.
Man, I was put on to burrito tacos too late in life, but I'm catching up.
I am much the same.
Fantastic stuff. But the voice you just heard, joining me live from the state where home prices are rising faster than anywhere else in the country right now, it is the man, the myth, the Nate. Mr. Taylor, your Knicks will be matched up with the Hawks in the first round, but we'll get to all of that in just a moment. How are you doing today, sir?
Well, I was going to say that's a big reason why I still live at home. Yay! I love being a year out of college and still at home. Yeah, that's fun. Excited for this matchup for the Knicks Hawks, so I can finally never hear about Trae Young in 2021 ever again after the Knicks wrap this up. I'm already seeing too much bullshit on my timeline, so I'm going to have to go off of my phone before I start engaging with Hawks fans on my burner accounts.
You hear that, folks? We're getting 0 Dark 30 Nate for the next week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks. We'll see how long the first round takes.
I'll come back up after game one ends in a nice victory.
Gotcha. Just a one-game little.
I just need to take a break until we all get the madness is underway and the Hawks fans are familiarized with playoff Jalen Brunson.
There you go. I love it. Yeah, I'm so excited for the start of playoff basketball. I've cleared my calendar. I told everyone in my life, don't contact me. We're not making any plans. Playoff basketball starts Saturday. You will not hear from me. I'm booked. I'm all booked up. I'm very, very excited. And then, of course, Celtics play on Sunday, so I'll be busy that day as well. But yeah, we're here to talk about, first of all, the play-in tournament, which kicks off tomorrow night. We're getting a day off after the regular season wrapped up on Sunday. Obviously, had some of the most egregious stat lines you've ever seen. Let's just go roundtable real quick. What was your favorite stat line from last night, Josie?
Liked seeing Oscar Tshiebwe.
Yeah. I like that.
Basically almost have 30 and 15 against the Lakers. Still managed to lose in a significant fashion in that game. The Thunder had a couple of really weird guys out there. Carlson is a good guy. We know him watching that summer league. But Samford coming off the bench, kind of a weird guy.
Ultimate who moment?
Yeah.
Yeah. What about you, Nate?
I want to just say, I think Oscar Tshiebwe is a legit, good NBA player, decent NBA player. This is a dude who could, I'm going to not say legit 4 times in one sentence, but he could actually be a good backup big, I think, situationally for some teams. The dude is a crazy good rebounder, and I don't care what, stage of the NBA we're in, whether it's modern bigs are supposed to shoot, and rebounding is always going to be valuable. The dude eats rebounds for breakfast, lunch, and dinner it's nobody else's business. I think that there's room for Oscar Tshiebwe on more than just a 2-way contract where he can be an energy big. I know he's not polished. I know he's a little undersized, but I'm always going to be a big fan of people that go and try to die for every single rebound. And then I don't want to butcher his name, but on the Mavericks, John Polakidis.
Another who moment.
Have you guys watched any of him? He's a lefty on the Mavericks.
Never seen him until last.
So this guy is basically just left-handed Michael Porter Jr. He had 28 points in the last game. Let's look at his game log really quick. So he had 28 points, 12 points, 23 points. That was the only real games that he played in were the last 3. I'm not going to say I'm going and putting a lot of stock in John Polakidis, but that might be an NBA player right there.
I like
sleeper pick right there for the Mavs.
I like that. I have two choices. I was stuck between two. I didn't know if I should go with the Grizzlies Jazz game where there was a combined like one real NBA player between the two starting fives, and yet the Grizzlies still lost by 46. Or my guy Cormac Ryan of the Milwaukee Bucks going off for a combined 50 points in his last two games to end the season. I thought that was
Him
absolutely
and
simple.
AJ Green, the new Splash Brothers. You heard it here.
Oh my
first.
God, yeah. Gary Bird absolutely went crazy as well. Yeah, he let loose. So yeah, a lot of insane stat lines last night. Really, really fun game 82 of the NBA season. We didn't get like a prime tanking situation, but some good hoops nonetheless.
And then you saw the the Magic lose to the Celtics third stringers. That was awesome.
That was awesome. That was pretty cool to watch Ron Harper Jr. and John Tanji just go off. The Celtics
Send Jamal Mosley to the moon, fire Paolo into the sun, fire everybody in the front office, kill half the team.
I talked about
holy
this.
Crap.
Was it 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago where I was like, I don't think Jamal Mosley is going to make it through the season. We've gotten through 82 games. He's still the coach.
I'm surprised Jamal Mosley made it home last night.
Yeah, I'm still waking up every day just shocked that he still has a job, but it's only a matter of time at this point. We're going to get into the play-in tournament today, ladies and gentlemen. And go ahead.
It's just like I'm insulted by how bad of a basketball team they really are for how much talent they have. This is
what I've been saying to you guys. This has been building up. This has been the frustration building up for me for weeks now, if not months. So it'll all be over soon. It'll all be over very, very soon. They play on Wednesday, but we're going to start with tomorrow's action. We have the 9-10 matchup, the Heat versus the Hornets. It will be in Charlotte. I had someone ask me today if I was going. I don't know who they think I am, but no, I ain't got the money for that. I'll be watching on television just like the rest of us.
Not that much.
You might be surprised because I used to go.
Charlotte hasn't made anything significant.
Yeah, I used to go to Hornets games for like $9 in college. Nowadays, it was like $90 to go see them play the Grizzlies a couple weeks ago. I said, well, not happening. But anyway, the SoFi play-in tournament, as they call it. We'll go through each matchup and just kind of break down what we think is the most likely scenario to get to like the 7 and 8 seeds, and then we'll briefly also discuss the 4-5, the 3-6 matchups for the East and West as well. And kind of just go from there, and that'll lead us into postseason basketball. So let's start with the Heat and the Hornets. I mean, I think this one's pretty straightforward. The Heat have just been like a mediocre team all season long, pretty much. They started off pretty hot, then were like really cold for a little bit, and since then have kind of just middled out. Whereas obviously the Hornets have been one of the better teams in the league since the turn of the calendar year. So unless you guys want to make a passion case for Eric Spoelstra just cooking up some dark magic, I think this one's pretty straightforward.
I mean, it's always one game, so it could go either way. But I think this is the play-in game that everybody would be the most surprised if one team won over the other, where everyone is picking Charlotte to win this game.
Yeah, I think for good reason. Yeah. I can't even really find a way to make the case. Like I'm ready to put a bow on this Miami Heat season.
I mean, I think everyone knows right now at this point that Charlotte's probably the best team in either play-in from the East or the West.
I think there's a case to be made for Philly at full strength because we don't know what version of Philly. I guess we know. We already know. Yeah, we already know Embiid's out.
Appendix is exploded.
That's true. Yeah, just props to Joel Embiid for just every time you think that he's come up with every injury possible, he just finds a new one. He just always finds something new. Appendicitis.
Well, you can't control that.
Like I'm not saying.
Are you blaming the man's appendix for bursting?
No, by no means am I like blaming him for like these injuries happening. But it's just amazing how he always just finds a way. He always just finds a way to something to come up. You just know you're never getting 4 rounds with Joel Embiid. So
that's the same thing with Anthony Davis.
Trailblazers Suns. This is one I'm much more interested in. Now, obviously, Suns will be favored. What'd you say?
We just saw this game.
True. And I think it'll be a really good one. I don't know if you guys feel strongly one way or the other who might take it, but I'll open the floor.
I feel like the Suns are the more complete team to me.
I'm drunk.
You're drunk?
I thought the Blazers played the Suns the other day. Like I was vividly remembering that game, and that just has not happened in recent memory.
You're just making stuff up. But they will play as the 7-8, which is weird. I don't know why they're not just doing both 9-10 games tomorrow, but we're getting a 7-8 matchup. It feels
weird to start with the elimination game. You'd think that would be the last game, but whatever. I think that the Suns, they just feel more complete. I think what they'd bring on the defensive end, obviously, is probably the scariest team out of all of the Western Conference teams here.
Mm.
It's a weird because anything can happen in one of these games. That's what we've seen over and over again is that, a team can be better, but it's just one game. I think it depends on how Booker has come out. I think he will set the tone for the Suns in this game.
Makes sense.
Yeah, I'm taking Portland in this game. I think Portland's going to get the job done. I just think they've been one of the actual better teams defensively in basketball over the last month. I don't know if you guys have been watching or keened in on this, but have you guys seen Scoot Henderson's defense the past few games, last week or two, by any chance? Because
I would say not in particular. I've watched a little bit of the Blazers as of late. I've liked the way they've kind of looked in the last month or so for sure.
well, he looks like he just monstered Drew Holiday's powers on the defense. He looks like prime Drew Holiday right now defensively. He's actually been one of the best on-ball defenders that I've been watching over the past week or two. Like, he has taken pride on that side of the basketball. He is getting out in front of ball handlers. He's poking the ball away a lot too and getting out in transition, which has helped his offense. Scoot's had this defensive revelation or realization, this awakening. He went into a dark room, did some ayahuasca, came out and was like, Drew, teach me everything you know about defense. And he's been really fun to watch on that end. The whole team defensively has been really good, and Donovan Clingan has been the leader in that, being their anchor and one of the best, anchors and I think best second-year players in the league. I like Portland a lot right now, and they have the momentum on their side. The Suns have looked a little weird since Dillon Brooks has come back into the lineup, with him and Booker both being there and trying to figure things out. I think the Blazers get this game.
The Scoot point is really interesting because that's the thing about veteran leadership. When like someone like Drew Holiday goes onto a team, people are like, oh, it's going to instantly make Scoot better. Those kind of things take time. And sometimes it's like say Drew Holiday goes to another team, like it could end up being like years down the line where you see that impact. But I think we are starting to see that now, like over these last few weeks of the regular season. So having Drew around, I mean, obviously this is the second time he got traded to the Blazers. They actually kept him around this time. And I think we're starting to see like the impacts besides just his actual on-court impact. I think he's had a pretty good year. I know he dealt with injuries on and off, but yeah, I think we're going to start to see the long-term dividends of like keeping Drew Holiday around within Scoot.
Like yesterday, I just had this on because I wasn't I had pretty much all games on. I was just flipping back, and so I had the Kings Blazers on by chance. And even though Nick Clifford, Devin Carter, and Killian Hayes were manning point guard, even though Nick had actually a pretty good game, but Scoot, every single minute that he was in, he finished with only 2 steals, but every single minute that he was in, it felt like he was playing hard-nosed, up in your face, like, I'm going to annoy the shit out of you defense. And I was really inspired by that. I saw him play better defense over the past couple games, but yesterday I was like, okay, this dude's locked in and ready to try to contribute to a team that wants to get into the playoffs. And I really like what I've seen from the whole team. It's not just him. It's the defensive energy has been contagious. Like Toumani Kamara's defense is better than it was earlier in the season. Clingan's one of the best rim protectors in the league. They just have a bunch of guys who will contribute. Even Denny's going to give you effort on defense.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was going to say, can we have a quick Clingan conversation? We're obviously, we'll see what happens in this playing.
I told you guys top 5 big.
Half. Yeah, like I'm starting to be like, okay, heading into next season, like what can we expect from Clingan? Because I obviously, I try to temper my expectations being a UConn guy, and he's from Connecticut as well on top of it. So I try to not, bring my bias in, but like, god damn, man, he's hitting a couple threes now. Like he's just a monster on the defensive end. You talk about rim protection, just swallowing up rebounds. Like I'm so impressed with how fast he's progressed, because I thought, he wasn't expected to be a one and done guy coming in. So like his progression from like then to now has just been insane. Like I don't know where it ends.
I was high on him because I thought he was just going to be a really good traditional shot blocking, gobble up rebounds, score on the low post, off dump offs, big, to be a really good screen setter. He's a 34% 3-point shooter this season. Like,
yeah,
it's been insane.
What the hell?
Yeah, and like he kind of teased it a little bit towards the end of his UConn run, and I was like, okay, we could maybe see that down the line. He's just progressing so much faster than I could have ever imagined.
Shooting over 3 a game too. It's not like nothing.
Yeah. No, he's taking them. Yeah, he's taking them. So, yeah, I don't know what the ceiling is for him, but I'm very, very excited about him and like the Blazers' future with him as like a primary building block at this point.
Absolutely, yeah. Complete anchor in the Western Conference, especially with the pool deepening with 2 new teams. I can see him being a problem for years.
How uncomfortable is it if I say he's very much like a young Rudy Gobert, but just way further along and has a jump shot and doesn't have bricks for hands?
Yeah, no, he actually has pretty solid hands, I would say. I mean,
the defense is very similar to Rudy, where he's very smart at blocking shots when it's there, but also knowing when he doesn't have the quickest feet to just stand his ground and realizing people aren't going to shoot over him because he has like an 8-foot standing reach.
Yeah, it's similar style, but I don't want to discredit Gobert. Like he's obviously a generational rim protector.
Yes, I know. That's why I know it's
a
little crazy, but I think he can get there.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not putting the ceiling on Clingan anymore. I'm very, very excited for what he might do next season. Very good offensive rebounder too. I feel like he gets a ton of offensive rebounds, which is pretty cool.
I'm a little bit of a slut for the offensive rebounding. Like those are some of my favorite players. It's a big reason actually. I've liked Jordan Clark since randomly.
I guess the eye test works out. He actually leads the league in offensive rebounds. I didn't realize that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just love offensive rebounding guys because the second chance points are one of the most underrated things in basketball.
Second chance opportunities. Yeah, we love rebounding on this podcast. Yes, sir. But yeah, I'm kind of torn because I agree with Josie in that I think the Suns are just the better team. Like, just to put it plainly, like they just have more talent. They're more well-rounded. They proved over the course of 82 that they're a better team. But like, I mean, yeah, they have the better record for a reason.
Because the Blazers took a bit to get going.
Yeah, I kind of want to go Blazers here. I do feel like they're the better team right now in this instant. But like the Suns have proven that they're the better team from start to finish. So I don't know. So Nate, you're going Blazers. Josie, you're going Suns?
I'm going Blazers.
Well, let me ask you this, Nate. Who do you trust on the Blazers? If this game gets close at the end of the game, who are you trusting over Devin Booker to take?
I'll tell you what, there's actually
edge?
quite a few people I trust over Devin Booker right now in the sport. Maybe not on the Blazers side of things.
Yeah, in the sport. Yeah, we're talking
okay.
in this one game. Yeah,
but. Well, no, I know, but I don't. My point was really that I don't think Devin Booker is quite on the level or way I viewed him a year or two ago. Like, there's definitely been a decent drop off from the Devin Booker that I think we used to see. His overall field goal percentage is like the lowest it's been since his second year in the league or something. I don't think it's one game. Like for me, I think the Blazers win this game by making it a track meet, by making it a defensive game because they are the younger team. Obviously, Dylan Brooks is going to bring that defensive identity, and he's going to be very emotional, I would assume, in this game and going to put a lot of effort into it. But I just think if the Blazers are able to play their style of basketball the way they've played over the last 10, 15 games, I like their chances. It's more so that they're the hotter team right now.
Yeah, but I think it'll come down to who can control like the pace and tempo of the game. If they can turn it into more of a slow it down game, I like the Suns' chances.
I mean, no, I'm not going to say that I trust Drew Holiday more so than Devin Booker, but Drew Holiday has had some very, very good offensive games for Portland so far this season, and I'm not writing it off where he can go off for 20 plus.
All right, I'm sold. Nate made a stronger case, I will say.
Also, Chumani Kamara will just randomly go off for 30 points every.
Well, I'm not banking on that, but okay, yeah. Sure.
No, but it could happen.
He's gonna be Devin Booker.
Jeremy Grant is still. Jeremy Grant, I think, is questionable for the game. So,
okay, well, that hardly sways my opinion. I'll be honest.
It's an extra 19 points, man.
Yeah, but Jeremy Grant, like he's one of those guys he can play 32 minutes and you forgot he's on the court. He can definitely have that effect too. So,
all right. Well, I'm
did
just saying.
Did he really average 19 for the year? Shout out to him.
Yes,
that is a quiet 19. I know he did have a stretch like post All-Star that was pretty good.
He was pretty good most of the year.
18.6. Quit riding him. No, but I'll go Blazers.
7.4.
I think they're probably the safer choice. I'm curious actually. I'm gonna look up the betting odds. I'm sure something should be out already. Let's see. The Suns are 4.5 point favorites. The line opened at 3.5 and moved to 4.5. So there's actually more money on the Suns. What do they know that we don't?
Some of us know.
It's okay. We'll be back when the Blazers are the 7th seed.
Well, it would avoid a OKC Blazers matchup, which would feature Denny versus Shea in the free throw battle of the century.
Oh, jeez. Yeah, those will be the longest games of any first-round matchup. Damn stoppages for free throws. Oh, my God. Yeah, that would be
4 people fouling out per game.
Yeah, that would be nightmarish. As an
Lou
OKC
Dort's
fan,
going to average 5.5 fouls per game.
Who would you rather win this game just as an OKC fan?
Oh, gee, that's a good question because you got to consider who do I want to play the Clippers because as an OKC fan, we have the Clippers pick. So
Buggers.
I don't know. I would rather play the Blazers in a series, I think, and kind of have the closure of the Damian Lillard era. Just get them out the way one time. It would feel nice.
I like that. Damian Lillard technically on the roster, so yeah, would exercise some demons there. And
you know who I trust more than Devin Booker at the end of the game? Damian Lillard. Put him in with one leg. It's okay.
Hey, if the guy can win the 3-point contest, he can hobble out there for a few minutes. Why not?
Dame, just go sit in the corner.
Yeah, why not? No, but I think ideally the Clippers would lose to the Warriors in the 9-10 matchup. Ideally for you, Josie, as someone who's an OKC fan. But Jimmy reported that he's questionable for the game or he's doubtful. Don't think we're going to see him in that game, according to him. But I think the Clippers take care of business in that one. I don't have any. Wait, you didn't see that, Nate?
What?
Jimmy Butler posted on Instagram. He said, "I'm listed as doubtful for tomorrow's game against the Clippers." And then he said, "At Shams, report this." Shams, sorry. So I think the Warriors are good as toast. So it will be presumably Clippers versus
yes, I would
whoever.
assume that a guy who tore his ACL like 3 months ago.
Hey, I don't know. I'm just reporting what he said. I'm
right.
just relaying the news for anyone that didn't see that one. And then to wrap it up, we have the lowly Orlando Magic going up against the Philadelphia 76ers. This is tough because obviously I've made my thoughts on the Magic pretty clear in the last few weeks here, but with no Embiid, I don't.
Paul George just got suspended again for crack cocaine this time, so he's going to be out for 30 games.
They needed to shed a little more money to get under the luxury tax, so he got another suspension.
I don't think, unless I don't know, the Magic suck, but the Sixers also suck without Joel Embiid. So it's like, who sucks more? That's the question. Who do you think sucks more right now, Dion?
I want to say the Magic, but it depends. Is Tyrese Maxey playing 46 or 48 minutes in this game? What do you think?
Could be. What if he's 47?
Then they probably go to overtime and he ends up playing 5 more minutes anyway.
I'll go the Sixers probably because of how awful I feel about the Magic and just because I'm just so disgusted at whatever the hell that game I watched yesterday was. So yeah, let's go Philly just for the hell of it.
Yeah,
and I want to see Boston Philly anyways more than I want to see Philly or Magic Boston.
I'd gladly welcome either of those matchups, to be honest. Like, I
don't think Boston's gonna have trouble either way. I just like to see Philly Boston more than I'd rather see Orlando get fucked in the ass for 4 straight games.
Yeah, no, that's totally fair. Inevitably the Celtics would lose one of those games. It'll be a 5-game series, but I would say without Embiid,
Baylor Shireman 30 minutes.
Hey, they can play Baylor as many minutes as he wants, man.
Give him the ball against the Magic and say, "Take us home, baby."
How funny would it be though? They got matched up with the Magic and they run back that same lineup that they played last night, but they're like,
dude, off the bench,
players.
Why not? Go for it. They played well. Paolo was going 5 for 16.
That was hilarious. I had a feeling they would win that game, but for it to go the way, like, it wasn't even like
I saw someone say that Paolo is the worst pick like the last since Anthony Bennett, worst first overall pick since Anthony Bennett. I was like, did Risache die? And he goes, at least Risache won't take 16 fucking shots and make 5.
They don't even give him that opportunity anymore. But I would say, the Sixers could probably still get it done without Embiid because they still have more high-end talent.
And Paul George has been good.
Yeah, Paul George is looking decent since coming back. I mean, it makes sense, right? Like, he's an older guy, like fresh legs, just taking 25 games off. So, yeah, I could see him like having a really good game 1 or 2 of a first round series and then just like falling off a cliff after that. But
were you watching the Magic game? Like, did you watch the game yesterday?
And not intently. It was on, but like,
did you see the shot that Franz took to potentially tie the game after Luka Garza hit that crazy over the head?
Like end of the game, I was not.
So Garza hit a 3 because they brought up like Jalen Suggs hit a game tying 3 or whatever. Then they went back down on the other end, inbounds it to Luka Garza. He chucks up a 3 from the left corner, like from the left wing. It goes in like just immediately to give them time in case the Magic did score. I think that's how Missoula drew it up. And then the Magic come back down the court. Franz pulls up from like 34 feet on the left wing and just airballs.
Oh, jeez.
And it's just like that's the type of plays and like that's the type of coaching because someone drew that up. Someone or that like this team doesn't belong in the NBA. Like, what the fuck are you doing?
Yeah, that's the thing. Either it was drawn up like that, or there's no direction like whatsoever, and that's what they ended up doing just on their own free will. So either way, Jamal Mosley just has to go, man. Like, just get him out of there. I can't believe that he's still going to coach.
The IQ's terrible. The coaching's terrible.
I think honestly, I've seen some Magic fans posting like, "I hope we lose both playing games. Like, just end this season, please. Like, this has been miserable." I don't blame them.
I think how much Paolo sucked, it hides the fact that Franz has also just sucked ass since he came back too.
Yeah, shout out to Desmond Bane holding it down, but
shout out everyone on that roster for having 0 jump shot except for Desmond Bane.
I don't know, man. I couldn't like a team less than I do this Magic team, so I'll take the Sixers just for that, if nothing else. How do you feel, Josie?
It's weird for me to pick the Sixers because I feel like every time they're in a situation where they need to win, they don't win.
They don't, yeah.
But what you guys have been saying, I agree with. I think the Sixers have more of a punch in this game, but it really is kind of like, oh, geez, do we really need to do the play-in every single time? I know these guys are ranked above the other guys, but
I really just spread misinformation on the internet.
What?
Wendell Carter is like their 7th or 8th best 3-point shooter at this. He was higher up. Like he's at 32. Like last time I checked.
Stop sabotaging our podcast.
Yeah, that's all me. Me when I spread misinformation.
Nate just making shit up and just hoping, just seeing whatever sticks.
This has been a bad day for me. I apologize.
That's all right. That's okay. Right. We all have our days. At least you're not Jamal Mosley, where you had 82 bad days. But
yeah.
But yeah, I'll take the Sixers. But it would be very Orlando Magic of them for them to win by like 23, and it's like, oh, wait a minute, and then they just get blown out in the first round.
Right.
So,
yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised either way, but I'm gonna take the Sixers as my sort of official prediction. In honor of Mr. Sider, I guess, for his birthday, we'll start with the Raptors. Maybe he'll even join us mid-conversation if he gets his Wi-Fi figured out. But yeah, 4-seed Cavs going against the 5-seed Raptors. Kind of amazing that the Raptors, in my opinion, ended up as the 5 seed. I know they started off really strong, and I was like, oh, maybe the Raptors are the surprise team, because it sure as hell wasn't the Magic. And then I think, like, pretty much ever since January, they've had like a negative month-by-month record.
Yeah, they were 11-2 in November, and then every month since then they've been negative.
Yeah, I think that was the stat. And then if you look at like their record against pretty much any team with a winning record, it's not good. Like their record against the other top 6 teams in each conference, bad. Teams above 500, it's bad.
Against the top 3 teams in each conference, I think they went 0-11.
They did beat the Thunder. I know that.
I thought it was 1-11 or 1-12.
Oh yeah, maybe it was.
Regardless,
1-11.
yeah, they really struggle against teams that are actually good, proven to be. So I don't give them much of a chance in this series against the Cavs. I think the Cavs are kind of destined to just be a second round exit. It makes sense that they would get out of the first round. Like there's obviously enough talent here where they shouldn't get upset in the first round. I just don't actually trust them moving forward beyond that. But yeah, the Raptors, I mean, I think with the front court, obviously, of Mobley and Allen, it's going to be really difficult for the Raptors to generate consistent offense in this series. Like, I just don't really see where it comes from. Unless quickly just like for whatever reason finds a hot stretch. Like I could see him like maybe having a game or two where he hits like 6 threes, but save for that, I just don't really know where the Raptors offense will be coming from on a game-to-game basis in this series.
I will say this. I thought the Raptors were a terrible matchup for pretty much any other, like the top 3 seeds, awful matchups. Like if they had fallen to 6, 7, or 8, like they would have been screwed. I think this is the one series they have a chance in, at least to extend it to 6 or 7 games. I know the regular season doesn't mean a ton, but they won every single matchup against the Cavs in the regular season, all by double digits. Like every single game, the Raptors looked like a much better team. And Scotty Barnes has Evan Mobley in hell. Like Evan Mobley looks like he's never touched a basketball when he gets guarded by Scotty Barnes. So I am worried about the Cavs double big lineup, and I'm worried about James Harden in the playoffs having to score against a very good defensive team in the Raptors. So this is going to be all on Donovan Mitchell's shoulders, probably once again, for him to have to average 30 points a game for his team to have a chance to advance out of the first round. I see this series going 6 or 7 games. I still think the Cavs probably win it, but I think it's going to be a pretty good series.
Yeah, there's a lot of factors that do kind of line up for like a longer series, I guess. But I can't see the Cavs not actually winning it because I do think Donovan Mitchell probably will average 30 in the series. Like, it'll be another like team on my back performance like we've seen time and time again with him in the first round of the playoffs, but I think he'll do it. Like I don't see why. Like Jamal Shed doesn't really scare me. All due respect, like I think Donovan Mitchell will get his and kind of.
But I don't think them being dragged by Donovan Mitchell is going to make a series go 4 or 5 games. I think this is going to be
that's fair.
One that gets dragged out. I could see it going back to Cleveland and them having to go and win it in 7 with Donovan Mitchell going off for like 40. I know Evan Mobley is a great defender, but he's not just going to be guarding Brandon Ingram one-on-one the entire series. I don't think they have a great option for Brandon Ingram either.
What about Dean Wade? I feel like he could be fine against Brandon Ingram.
That's a good point.
Dean Wade's typically better against smaller guys, not like guys who are smaller than him. Then he's better against guys who are smaller than him, who he can surprise with not being as slow-footed as a lot of the young, like smaller guards will think he is in attacking him. But
I'm just not worried about Brandon Ingram in a series like this, honestly.
I think you're completely wrong in that because the last time Brandon Ingram was in a playoff series, he was really, really good against the Phoenix Suns.
No, the last time he was in a playoff series, he got swept by the Thunder, actually. But
yeah, that was the torture chamber series. But I know what you're talking about as well, Nate. That was a good performance from him. But I mean, I think we get like a middle version of those two. Like I could see it going 6 because Brandon Ingram has 2 good games where he's hitting a bunch of middies, but that's not going to sustain itself. Like I think it's much more likely Donovan Mitchell averages like 30 to 35 points than like
I think
Brandon
Jared
Ingram
Allen
has a consistent stretch of good games.
I think Jared Allen is the X factor in this series for the Cavs because they're going to need him to take advantage and have some of the have some really good offensive games like we've seen him have this season against Pirtle and Mamukelashvili, because that's about as free eats as you can possibly get in the paint.
Exactly. So I think without much resistance, Jared Allen should have some pretty good outings.
This should be his series.
Yeah.
I don't know if you said that the Raptors won all the matchups. I wonder how many of those were against James Harden, or if any of them were against James Harden, because I bet that factor of Harden to Allen also will come in huge in this series.
Absolutely.
I guess, man. Like I think if anything, I'm so not.
Yeah, they played
about
twice
James
in
Harden.
November. I don't know why Google's not showing me the third matchup, but they played twice in November, so obviously no Harden in that one. The other one was they played Halloween, November 13th, November 24th. So I don't really know that those games really have much to do with this series.
Yeah, maybe not. I'm just like, maybe I'm just closed-minded at this point. I'm not going to have any second thoughts about doubting James Harden.
That fair. If he does go to a game 7, but I don't even think they really will need him to really like show out in this series. I think they'll be just fine with like him just running some pick and roll Jared Allen and let Donovan Mitchell do all the clutch times.
Yeah, like, I still think Cavs are going to win the series, but I think it's going to be a good series.
I got you. I'll probably say I'm tempted between more Cavs in 5 or 6 than 6 or 7 for me. What about you, Josie?
I would go Cavs in 6. I think that's
probably my gut feeling.
All right. We'll settle on a consensus Cavs in 6 there. I like that. Okay, cool. All right. Let's go to the other. Actually, do we want to go to the Knicks now, or
yeah, we can go to the Knicks now?
All right, let's do it. So the 3-seeded Knicks going up against the 6-seeded Hawks. One of the hotter teams in the league are the Atlanta Hawks. Obviously, looked really good post trade deadline, post All-Star break. But to me, I know Nate feels a similar way. I just don't really see how the Hawks match up all that well with the Knicks. I think this is another team that's going to run into a lot of problems trying to generate offense. Jalen Johnson's cool and all, but when it comes down to like the entirety of their roster, not a lot of playoff experience here, first of all, and just not a lot of like proven guys on this type of stage. They just strike me as like the classic, like a year too early type of team where like maybe like I think they have one really good showing in this series and it ultimately goes 5. And that one game gives everyone hope of like, oh, but next year, watch out for the Hawks. But it's just too early. Like I just don't think the mix of talent that they have, like kind of the lack of shooting outside of Alexander Walker, I just don't really think it's really meant for a lot of playoff success. I think they have like some kind of retooling, some adjusting to do in the offseason to kind of make them more geared towards playoff basketball. This just feels like the type of team that's like, all right, we're going to take our licks here this year, kind of figure out what does and doesn't work for us when postseason basketball comes around, and we'll adjust heading into next year and try to build off of that. But I just don't see them as like a legit playoff threat.
Yeah, I just think like I get it. It's fun for everyone to pick the team against the Knicks. You never want to give the Knicks credit, no matter how good they are. The Knicks could go 82-0. They're still probably going to get picked to get upset in a first round series if that were to ever happen. The Hawks are very similar to, I think, to like you said, with they wouldn't go 82-0. I'm very aware of that. No team would. But my point is that I think they're similar to the Pistons last year, where the Pistons were this fun, hot team coming into the playoffs, and everyone wanted to pick them in a first-round series because they were the fun, hot, young team. And I think that's very similar with the Hawks this year, where they went on a fun run. They're a good team, but they have no playoff experience outside of CJ McCollum. And I think CJ might have a very good series. He had a good game against the Knicks, in the game we saw a few days ago. Cat is a awful matchup for the Hawks. Like the Hawks have no answers for Cat. Okongwu's going to have a good offensive series. I think he had a game with 5 threes against the Knicks earlier in the season, but Cat averaged 28.5 points a game and 14 rebounds against the Hawks this year in 2 games. He had 36 and 15 in 30 minutes and then 21 and 12 in 32 minutes. He did that on 63% from the field. Like he is going to dominate in this series. And it wouldn't surprise me if even with how good Brunson is in the playoffs, that Cat is the best player in this series.
Okay. No, I don't hate that take because I think, like you said, there's not a good matchup for him. I love Okongwu, made that very clear over the years here, but yeah, I think there's enough evidence to suggest that like Cat is going to kind of have his way.
And the Hawks have no depth.
Yeah, I mean they kind of do, kind of don't.
You're relying on if Kuminga gives you 15 off the bench, you'd be lucky.
Yeah,
like, the Knicks have 11, 12 deep if they have to. They have so many different looks that they could throw at you, whether it's Jose Alvarado, Mo Diawara, Landry Shamet, and Deuce McBride and Mitchell Robinson are obviously going to be the big key 3 off of the bench. But the Knicks have way more looks that they can throw at you. If the Hawks starters aren't playing at 100%, they have no chance against the Knicks.
Yeah. No, that's fair. Like it would have to be more of like the Knicks coming down to the Hawks level versus like there's some level I think the Hawks can reach to like match the Knicks, if that makes sense. I just don't.
100% think that there's going to be a game or two in the series where the Knicks offense poops its pants and they just fall to a standstill, because that happens with the Knicks offense. They're way too pattern prone to not think that's going to happen. I said that yesterday on the podcast with Omar, but the Hawks are going to take advantage of a game or two where the Knicks offense falls flat and have a really good offensive game. I'm sure that'll happen, but I don't see this series going more than 6 games, and I probably would say Knicks in 5.
Yeah, I'm really interested to see how they respond to the challenge and how Mike Brown is able to, adjust to whatever the Hawks are throwing. I think that's the most interesting thing in the series for me, is seeing how Mike Brown can really spread his wings and find some success in the playoffs for the first time in a long time for him. So I think the Knicks are the more talented team, but I do expect the Hawks to put up a fight.
Yeah.
And between CJ and Alexander Walker, I do think that they'll have a chance in some games, like you said.
One thing I'll tell you for free is if somehow the Knicks do lose this series, this is not going to be the same Knicks team you see next year. I don't know who it's going to be that's gone, but somebody will be.
I don't know
gone.
why you think I would have paid for that information.
I wasn't expecting. That's what I said for free. I gave out a free sample, so you come back. You give out the free things, and then you attract more customers.
Got you. Yeah, me personally, whenever I see the free samples in the grocery store, there's no chance I'm going to buy it, but I just want free food. Just give me the nibble, and I'm on my way. But anyway, let's move to the Western Conference.
I find that hard to believe. You're telling me you've never had a free sample of something, and be like, damn, that's good. I'm going to buy this.
No, and I actually work in impulse sales, and it doesn't work on me.
You're an idiot.
So be it.
There's totally there was a point in time where that worked on you.
No, maybe down the line, and I saw it again the next time, and I was like, oh, I remember I tried that and it was good, but no, I'm not buying things on the spot.
I remember it because at Costco they had these like lightly breaded chicken chunks, man, and I forget what they're called. They taste like Chick-fil-A, and the macros on them are great. So I pretty much buy them every single time now.
Oh yes, sir. We might be getting the same ones. Green bag.
They're like Bear. Yeah, Bear. Yeah.
Okay, okay. I might get Jones next time.
We're not sponsored by them, but I'd love to be. So
I'd love a Costco sponsorship.
Just Bear chicken. I think that's. What
you meant the chicken. I thought I was talking about Costco. I like
Costco in general is phenomenal place.
Let's move to the Western Conference because we also got to get the chopping block in here. Do you guys want to go 4-5 or 3-6?
Let's do 4-5 again. We should start the same.
Yeah, 4-5. We can get that out the way. I feel like it's kind of simple in my opinion.
It's pretty simple, but it's not easy because it just comes down to who's actually playing for
Dion, please Google synonyms for simple and tell me what comes up when you do that.
Those are two different things.
Simple and easy?
Yeah, two different things. Simple means it's not very complex. Like it's very straightforward, but
something
it's not
that's easy could also be not complex.
It could be. Okay, but is a square a rectangle?
No, but a rectangle is a square or the other way. Are you sure you didn't just get that mixed up?
I didn't. I asked you the question. I didn't say which one was which, but the point got across. If Luka's gonna play, then yeah, of course, Lakers in 5. Like wrap this up, put a bow on it, call it a day. But between him and Reeves, like I don't think we're really necessarily getting either of them, especially for game 1. So I'm going Rockets in a comfortable.
Well, we're not
16.
getting Reeves. I don't think we're.
Yeah, Reeves is pretty much done. Luka, we'll see. So I'm going with Rockets in a comfortable 6 because I just like the Lakers have no depth as it is. If we're gonna say they're without Luka, like. I don't know how they get it done.
Assuming Luka's not even 70%, I'm going Rockets in 5.
Okay.
Rockets in 5.
Rockets in 5. Okay. See, I feel like Luka at least like will play in this series. And
no, because all of a sudden the Rockets have woken up and decided to be good again, and the Lakers are literally just depleted. It's going to be Bronny and LeBron sharing the court again.
Bronny
in the playoffs.
You think Bronny actually plays in this series?
He might have to. They have no other guards. They just signed Nick Smith to a standard contract, but I don't know if he's playoff eligible.
No, he should be. He was on the roster.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
But yeah, it's kind of funny how like they could actually use Gabe Vincent right about now.
Let Josie speak. God damn it!
My fault, OG.
I don't know what Luka did in Spain, but it had to be pretty damn good if he wants to get back on the floor for this series and actually impact it. In my opinion,
gave him back rubs.
They were doing something special to him. That's all I know.
They were doing something off the menu, if you will.
Rob was giving him his Palinka.
Yeah, I don't really see the path without a healthy Luka. Because even like a hobbled Luka, I think they're gonna struggle because the Rockets have bodies to throw at him.
And the Rockets are also gonna like push the ball down your throat. Pause.
Yeah, it's a bad matchup in terms of pace. 100%.
Even if injured Luka's playing, they're gonna attack the hell out of him.
Yeah, so I'm gonna say Rockets pretty comfortably, but I am saving like some room for like Luka to come back in the series and win them a game. So That's why I went with 6. But I think the Rockets pretty comfortably take care of this one, unfortunately. And I say unfortunate because I think this would be a really fun matchup to watch if we got a full strength Luka.
Mm-hmm.
I'd probably end up going Lakers in 6 if I knew he was going to play, even without Reeves. Like I think it does swing it that much. So
he is a huge swing if he were to play.
He is pretty good at basketball.
Yeah, he's a pretty talented player. But yeah, I don't think we need to spend too long on that one, just because that one's not easy.
Yeah, let's
but
talk about the
simple.
Mavericks.
No, wait, what? Huh? No, let's transition to what is, I think, very clearly going to be the most entertaining first round series of them all, with the 3-seeded Nuggets going up once again against the 6-seeded Minnesota Timberwolves.
It's 1-1 right now, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I think if you were a Nuggets fan, like, would you have rather them gotten the 3 seed so that they avoid OKC in the second round, or have been in that 4-5 to go up against Lakers and Rockets? Because then you got to play OKC in the second round. Like, how would you kind of weigh that?
If you want to be the best, you got to beat the best. Okay.
Fair enough. I like that. That was going to be my ultimate answer, so I'm glad we're on the same page there. What about you, Josie?
I think it didn't matter. They were going to have to go through San Antonio and Oklahoma City either way. So, assuming chalk, obviously.
Right.
So, yeah, I don't think it really mattered that much. Where the Timberwolves are with their health, I think, and where the Nuggets are with their play on the court, I think these are two teams trending in opposite directions right now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I do think the Denver Nuggets should be favored here. And
yeah, what is the exact
Timberwolves are low-key
status?
chud maxing.
Have we gotten any any status updates on Jaden McDaniels? What's the latest on that one?
They called up
Last
his
I
brother
heard
and
he
asked him
was-
if he wants to play instead.
Mm-hmm.
he
I
was
think he's
just
still
a week a
questionable. The
while
last
back.
time I saw, he's still questionable.
Okay.
Like he's like a day to day, I think, or David. Yeah, I
Let's
think
see.
he's day to day, but I'm not sure.
5 days ago, cleared for full contact 5-on-5.
Yeah, so I think they're taking a day to
He's
day
probably
right
ready
now with
then.
him.
Yeah, that will be the swing factor for me. I think Jaden McDaniels has had a really underrated improvement. Like, he's taken a step forward this season. I don't think anyone's really talked about. He is huge in this series because I really like what I've seen from Aaron Gordon since he's come back. Peyton Watson, we'll see what they're able to get out of him in a first round series. But I think those wing matchups, I think are going to be kind of like the swing. We kind of know what we're getting from all the main guys. I trust that Anthony Edwards will be, full force ready to go. If they're going to have full strength Jaden McDaniels, I would say it's a 7-game series. Otherwise, I think the Nuggets take their business somewhat handedly. But just knowing the history of these teams, it's probably still Nuggets in 6.
So because I'm not confident that Anthony Edwards is 100% healthy, I'm definitely going to go with the Nuggets here. I'd say probably in 6 games. Yeah, I mean, I like the Timberwolves' depth a lot. I don't love the fact that they have depth everywhere except for the big position. So when Rudy Gobert is tired or can't guard Jokic for every minute of the game, they really don't have any answers for Valanciunas on the bench. They've been playing Jon Berenje more and more towards the end of the season to try and get something out of him, but he doesn't look ready. He's had some good spurts, but I don't think he's ready to be a full-time rotation player against a team like the Nuggets and a very experienced big and a guy like Valanciunas. So I just think there's too many mismatches here for Denver. This is going to be a less competitive series than the last few times, I think.
Fair enough. Yeah, I mean, I could see it easily going in that direction as well. But funny enough, I think we pretty much just went chalk besides the Rockets beating up on the injured Lakers. We didn't really predict any upsets here. There's going to be one. Maybe it is just Rockets Lakers. Maybe that'll count. Maybe Rockets Lakers will count. But yeah. With that, though, we can transition to the final edition of the chopping block. I want to kind of mix this up a little bit for next year because it came down to we just have the top 3 seeds. We're literally just going to argue between Knicks Celtics and Nuggets Spurs. So those will both be second round matchups, and we'll just kind of hash those out, I guess. So we'll try to come up with a slightly different concept for next season. But this was a lot of fun to kind of just a fun little exercise for these Monday episodes. So if you're just joining the 2-for-1 podcast, first of all, thanks for listening. Make sure to subscribe, tell your friends about us. But the chopping block, we've been slowly but surely eliminating teams from conference finals contention. And now we've gotten to the final episode here where obviously, the Pistons as the 1 seed, they're going to make it through because we've eliminated all their potential matchups leading up to the conference finals. Same for Josie's OKC Thunder. So it really leaves us just, like I said, with Knicks versus Celtics and Nuggets versus Spurs. So Nate, before we start fist fighting, we'll go to Nuggets Spurs first. We'll go to that one first before we duke it out for our own team.
Nuggets Spurs, you said?
Nuggets Spurs.
Wait, do I get to be the deciding vote on that? Is it?
I guess yeah, you do. We'll
I
have to
already
make
know
our
who
case.
Josie's picking.
We'll have to make our case to Sir Josiah Cook on that one. But as far as the Western Conference goes, I mean, I've kind of planted my flag on. I think Denver's the number 2 team in the league when fully healthy. They're starting to get pretty close to that measure of being fully healthy. We'll see, what's up with Peyton Watson. But yeah, I'm going to say that the Nuggets. I think they proved it in their matchup not too long ago. Jokic, as difficult as it was, I think Jokic feels fully comfortable going up against Wemby. As comfortable as you can be going up against a 7-4 alien. So I think the Nuggets will take care of that series. I think we're going to get a Nuggets OKC conference finals.
Yeah, I think there's going to be some baptism by fire by Jokic in the playoffs and really showing Wemby what a 7-game series against a former champion means. It's no disrespect to the Spurs or Wemby. They're going to get there. I just don't think this is the year. They need to get bounced by a good team before they take it to that next step. And if I'm wrong, then so be it. Shoot me in an open cornfield, I guess.
It wasn't a great sign that most of their main guys weren't able to beat the Nuggets' third string guys at the end of the game. Clearly trying to win the game. The Spurs were getting bodied by David Roddy.
Bodied by Roddy.
I love that. Yeah, I mean, I think what's really going to, start to come back to bite the Spurs is like, Wemby can really only play 30 minutes. So, like, when Jokic cranks up to, like, 43, 42 minutes in, like, a game 6, Jamal Murray's playing, like, the whole game. Is Wemby going to be able to match that? Because if not, like, I just don't see how they kind of keep pace. I think that's going to be their ultimate downfall, is either trying to force Wemby to play too much or him just not being capable of doing it and then just kind of losing out when he's on the bench.
And what's been so impressive, partly during this crazy win streak that they have, or where they've only lost like 2. What is it? They're like 21-2 or some shit, or 20-2.
When Wemby plays, yeah.
Or no, since like it was over the last so-and-so games.
Yeah, with Wemby in the lineup.
Yeah,
yes.
yeah. But a big thing during that stretch has been Dylan Harper and Stephon Castle just having a shooting revelation where they've both been 40+% three-point shooters since the All-Star break.
Shout out Stephon Castle, man. He is just another UConn guy that I try to like simmer expectations on because
you've like almost won me. See, that's the thing is you've almost won me over on the UConn guys though, because I'm a huge Castle and huge Klingon fan now, and I think it's because you put this propaganda in my head to begin with.
No, I think because they're damn good basketball players.
They're just good,
to get better over the course of the season. Stephon Castle too. He just plays with like just a verve. Like his energy. It's like every possession he's just relentless.
Cool. So my dad loves those kind of players. Like he loves the gritty role play. That's why he loves Josh Hart. So he didn't really seen a lot of Stephon Castle or whatever. He is that guy, but plus having all-star tangible skill sets. He is so good at doing the little things while also doing the, hey, I'm going to put up a triple-double, or I'm going to go up and around the basket and feed it to Wemby where I can't even see where I'm passing the ball.
Yeah, that's the other thing, too, of anyone on the Spurs, and this was immediate right from
he gets
season. He has that chemistry with Wemby. He understands, like, this guy's 7'9". Like, get him the ball. Just throw it up there, and he's going to catch it. Like
Fox has learned, but
Fox is getting there. But, yeah, like, Castle just knew right away, like, I'm just going to toss it up there. He's going to fucking catch it.
With that being said, though, they will be eliminated in the second round of the NBA playoffs.
I'm still going Nuggets. But I really
I'm going. That's a 7-game series, though. To me, that's a Nuggets in 7.
I really hope so. That would be absolute cinema. Well, we have a majority, Josie, but you got to chime in yourself as well.
Yeah, I think the Nuggets, for all the reasons you guys just said. I think I'm not as worried about Wembanyama playing the minutes. He has played the minutes when he's needed to this season. Mm-hmm. He has played over. I think he's played like into the heavy 30s. He just doesn't average that. So I think that level is there for him in a playoff series. I'm very excited to see them even in the first round, whoever they draw. But ultimately, everyone in the West, you have to pay your dues and beat Joker if you want to win the championship. And I just don't think they're ready yet.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it feels like the type of series that would be like the stepping stone to like next year. Maybe they make a run or something. But
all right,
you got to get your battle scars. But yeah, let me get my boxing gloves on. Let me take my earrings off real quick. See what's up with Nate. So let's start off with this, Josie. Just like immediate gut reaction, just surface level, just off the top of the dome. Who are you going with now? And then we'll see who needs to kind of fight harder this way.
Right now, I think the Celtics are the stronger team.
All right, so
but I'm open to hearing Nate's argument. I completely give him the floor here.
What do you think makes the Celtics better than the Knicks?
Turn the table right back around on Josie. Okay.
I would say top level star power, like better duo, even though Jason Tatum, you could say you don't know if he's going to be full Jason Tatum, but he's been good.
Can I follow that up with the question?
Well, there's other things.
Okay.
But okay, go
I was
ahead.
just say, which duo was better in the playoffs last year when the two faced against each other?
I guess Jalen Brunson, whoever the guy is in the
Carl
duo with him from
Carl
last year.
Anthony Carl Anthony Towns would be that guy.
Bridges had big
Yeah, I say
series.
it might be. It honestly might be Mikal.
No,
With his
Mikal was
first two
poop
games
other
of
than a
Rowan.
few big play. He had some big plays. Mikal offensively was not good in that series.
Whoever. It's
My
usually
memory
Jalen
says otherwise.
taking
All I
over
can remember from
then.
that series is Mikal Bridges just burying mid-range jumpers over Derek White's face. But I don't know. Maybe I have a skewed memory.
He was
I don't
huge in
remember
that series, and you're taking credit away from your own guy.
I'm taking credit away from a guy who wasn't one of the biggest reasons they won the series. He had two very big defensive plays, but overall he was disappointing offensively, and then he continued that into Indiana.
Okay.
That part is true.
Anyways, okay, continue the reasons why you think they're better.
I trust the coaching on the Celtics side. I like the defense. I don't think it's a huge advantage on the Celtics. I think the Knicks defense holds up, but I do like the Celtics perimeter defense better. Even though there's been so much blood between these two teams, I guess that's where I'm leaning right now.
All right, that's fair. I think the perimeter defense is it's such a crapshoot. I think then that's just going to be like a game by game thing where whoever's offense is playing better, the other defense isn't going to look as good. The way I look at it is the Knicks are built to beat the Celtics more so than any other team in the league. This Knicks roster was constructed to beat Boston. And so far, when they've been matched up in the big games, the Knicks have beat Boston. So right now, especially as a Knicks fan, I have no reason to believe that. I think the Knicks are much better than last year. I don't think the Celtics are better than they were last year. The Celtics had a better record last year. Obviously, they weren't supposed to be nearly as good this year, but I don't think that makes them a better team. So right now, I see a better Knicks team versus a worse Boston team that they beat last year. So my logic is that I don't trust Jaylen Brown to be the best player in a playoff series. And I think that's what he's going to have to be for the Celtics to beat the Knicks. I have yet to see Jaylen Brown outplay Jalen Brunson in a playoff series, and I've only had one to go on.
Jaylen Brown is the finals MVP. I do want to say that.
Yeah, he is a finals MVP where he averaged 22 points a game, which would be Jalen Brunson's career low for a playoff series as a Knick.
My counterpoint to you saying the Knicks beat them last year, again, I'm a Celtics fan, but to me, it felt more like the Celtics lost that series more than the Knicks won it. If I can pretend I'm on ESPN for just a second here, they had a 20-point lead in 3 different games and blew the lead in the fourth quarter. And obviously the Knicks had to play the game too and win it. But I think the Celtics proved that they have a higher ceiling to reach. That would be my case.
Maybe, but I also think that just that was a thing that proved why the Knicks are one of the best clutch teams in the NBA and why Jalen Brunson is literally the best playoff closer in the league right now. When it gets to close games, there is nobody I trust in basketball right now more than Jalen Brunson. And I don't if that sounds crazy to you, go watch the tape because it literally proves that I'm right, or I have at least an argument to be right.
Yeah, I mean, I'd put Jokic, but point in the Eastern
okay, if you want to say Jokic, I'm not going to argue that. He is up there with
I'll give you Eastern Conference for sure. But here's the biggest difference I think that actually will impact the series as far as last year's Celtics versus this year. Obviously, you look at the names on paper, there was more talent on last year's Celtics team. But I think structurally, the way that they play now, it's much less reliant on the three and much more reliant on getting rebounds. Because you went from having Porzingis and Horford being 5 out pretty much all the time. The Celtics weren't a good offensive rebounding team. Didn't get a lot of second chance opportunities. Weren't really great on the defensive glass either. They're so much better on that end this year. They're so much less reliant on 3-point shooting. And with the way, the style in which Tatum is playing since he's come back from injury, also much less reliant on perimeter jump shooting and more so running pick and roll with Kata and getting other guys involved. Tatum's passing, just as more of a sidebar, Tatum's passing since he's come back has really, really impressed me. And the gravity that he has and the way he's able to manipulate defenses, I think has been really impressive. I just think the Celtics are, like you said, the Knicks are kind of designed to beat the Celtics. I think the Celtics are a different team than when those Knicks were constructed.
Yes, but I'm actually glad you brought up the offensive rebounding because that has been such a strong suit for the Celtics' lackluster offense at times this season because that's what saved the Knicks' lackluster offense a few seasons ago and made them look like a really good offense. They're not going to do that against the Knicks. And in the last game, they couldn't do that against the Knicks. Mitchell Robinson and Cat are maybe the best rebounding duo on the floor together in all of basketball. Cat's the second.
I would very comfortably say that, I think.
Yeah, so you're going to see a lot of those lineups. And when Mazzulla inevitably decides to foul Mitchell Robinson in the second quarter of first or second game and gets all of his guys in foul trouble for no reason, then it's going to become...
That's what Luka Garza's for, man. We'll just toss him out there for that.
But that's the thing is, when Neemias Queta isn't in the game, you are leaving a paint wide open with either Luka Garza or Nikola Vucevic. Like you talk about how Cat's been a defensive liability, which has actually been playing the best defense arguably of his career over the past 2 months. You give the Knicks something that you had one of the only step ups that you had clearly over them was you can attack Cat. You're giving the Knicks 2 guys who they can attack any single time that they step on the court. And I just think, I think that's an issue.
I'll just put we're not going to see Luka Garza in the playoffs. Maybe in the
you're
first
going to
round.
see Jason Tatum at center against Mitchell Robinson.
I would feel way more comfortable with that. Yes.
Well, that's what I'm saying is I wouldn't feel comfortable about that at all, but it might be your best option.
Yeah, no, that's fair. But I think
Jason Tatum went 0 for 5 against Jalen Brunson the other night when he was switched on to him. I don't think Jason Tatum is ready to be a second level, the second best scorer on a team in a playoff series against a team as good as the Knicks are. That's not a discredit to Jason Tatum. That's called Jason Tatum's a human being recovered from the worst injury in sports.
Yeah, no, that's fair. I think how effective Vooch is going to be a huge swing factor. I won't go as far as say the X factor. That's probably
he could be
Jason Tatum, but. Yeah, if Vooch is going to be able to space the floor while also being a solid rebounder and like being able to like battle with Mitchell Robinson a little bit, like if he can kind of swing that a little bit, that would be huge. Because Mitchell Robinson, I'm not gonna lie, he keeps me up at night.
I don't think you're crazy to say the Knicks or the Celtics win this series. I think you're crazy if you say the Celtics are clearly the better team, which neither of you two guys are doing. But a lot of people who are saying that the Celtics are clearly the better team and that the Celtics run the East, I'm like, you clearly just
I think the majority of the people who say that, they drink a lot of Dunkin' Donuts, if you catch my drift. So I wouldn't really put too much stock into it.
Yes and no. It's a lot of – I've seen random – like I see Cavs fans, Hawks fans, Magic fans, Bulls – it's any fans of teams in the East.
Yeah, Nick Wright is big on the Celtics right now.
Yeah,
that doesn't make me feel good.
I see everybody in social media picking the Celtics are this team to run through, and I just have not been very impressed by Jason Tatum since he come back, and wasn't expected to be. But it's like I haven't seen.
I've been impressed.
I have been, just not with his scoring necessarily. I think Bill Simmons talks about this a lot. I'm kind of stealing his point, but I think sitting on the sideline, because that's the other thing. He's like he was with the team the whole time during his recovery. He didn't just like go off and do his own thing. So he was sitting there on the bench, and I think sitting there for 9 months just watching games play out. I think you pick up on a lot of as far as like, okay, how do I fit in with this group of guys? I think he's done a fantastic job of like understanding his role, getting guys involved. The pick and roll with him and Keita, like he's going to outprice Keita if we're not careful here.
I should not have said I'm not impressed with him. I haven't been impressed with his scoring at all, despite his totals being probably higher than you might have expected it. Him being he had like a 6-game 20-point streak or whatever, but like pretty much every game he's shooting tour dates, and it's not to slight him. I have to say this because I know that people get very particular when you're criticizing players coming back from injury, but it's not to slight Tatum. I don't think he's ready to be the type of scorer that Boston's going to need him to be against an offense like the Knicks. The Knicks are a very good offense with like 5 different players that can go off for 20 points at any given moment.
Yeah, I think it's gone very under the radar how much better the Knicks are than last year. Like you just
look
at like
plus 240 point differential in the fourth quarters this year.
Damn, that specific statistic I did not know. But you look at like just the kind of basic like year-end stats of like offensive rating, defensive rating, like the lineup data. They're just a flat out much better team than they were last year. And I feel like everyone kind of disregards them as exactly as they were last year because it's pretty much the same group of guys with a new coach. Well, they're much better. So I will give them credit for that. But
I think the biggest thing that people aren't seeing if you're not watching the games is how different Cat is as a defender and how much better it has made this team as a whole.
Yeah. But to counter that, do we trust that that's going to last?
Yeah, that's a good point.
I don't trust it 100%, but I have seen it in Minnesota against Denver, so I don't have a reason to say it can't happen.
Fair. Yeah, it can happen. So, yeah. I mean, yeah, like
it's going to be a 6 or 7 game series.
Yeah, if anyone thinks this is not going to come down to the wire, like you're just kidding yourselves or you're a fan of one of the two teams and you're just blinded, it's going to be a great series. I would argue potentially the best of the entire playoffs. Yeah. So, yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. I pray that, both teams make it to the second round with no like.
That is a heavy bar to sorry to interrupt. That's a heavy bar to clear though, with Spurs and Nuggets on the other side as well.
Yeah, there's just no rivalry in sports.
Like that's the thing is like there's a little added juice because it's Knicks Celtics. I think that'll push it over the top for any other series, but we'll see. I mean, I wouldn't mind if we got multiple great series.
We're gonna have so many. There's so many potential classics we could be getting that I think Josie brings up a great point that it's gonna have hopefully this is just a fucking fantastic playoffs and we're all nutting after just every series.
Okay.
The last couple playoffs.
With that, Josie, did Nate sway you enough, or are you still going Celtics?
Yeah, if I'm basing this off the arguments here, not who I would pick. I would go with Nate 100% here because I think he had the most compelling argument of, yes, the Knicks got better, the Celtics got worse, and the Knicks won last year handedly. So that is a really solid, logical argument.
I appreciate that, but I also, if you say it's Boston, like I think you have valid points.
Yeah, my pick would be Boston, but based on that logic, I will give the Knicks the final spot.
Well done by you, Nate. Congratulations. You slid your Knicks in there.
No, actually, can we put Boston in there? Can we just put Boston in there, please? You should Boston. Guys, let's eliminate the Knicks. The Knicks aren't. Yeah, guys, no.
Well,
shit.
In case you were wondering, it's all for shits and giggles nonetheless. I just wanted to have some fun.
Cursed another 50 years of no championships for us.
Because we predicted them making the conference finals?
Top 4.
No, they're fine. So. But with that, that'll wrap up the chopping block for the year. That wraps up any sort of pre-postseason talk on the 2-for-1 podcast.
We got officially though our conference finals then are Nuggets Spurs or Nuggets Thunder and Knicks Pistons, I guess.
Yes, sir.
Knicks Pistons.
We'll see what happens from there.
Sounds awful.
We'll see what happens from there. We do have some guests finally lined up. We're gonna get some guests on the show to talk some playoff basketball. Very, very excited, man. I've been counting down the days until April 18th, which is this Saturday, the start of the actual playoffs, for quite some time now. So once again, if you know me personally and you're listening to this, don't hit me up this weekend. Just don't. Like I won't be available. I'm locked in to these playoff games. So with that, we'll wrap up this episode. Thanks to everybody for listening. As always, make sure you subscribe to the podcast wherever you might be listening to us: Apple Podcast, Spotify, YouTube, etc. Make sure to check us out on all socials at 2for1hoops. We're on Instagram. We're on TikTok. We're on Twitter. You can follow us. We don't really tweet, but you can give us a follow on Twitter if you'd like. And with that, hope everyone has a great rest of their day.